Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me in this fifth session of our series. आज हम पांचवें अध्याय को एक्सप्लोर करेंगे. बट बिफोर वी गेट इनटू द फिफ्थ चैप्टर, एक बार एक बहुत ही क्विक क्रिस्प रिकैप कर लेते हैं कि अब तक के 4 अध्याय में हमने बेसिकली सीखा क्या है. अगर कोई मुझे कहे कि एक दो लाइन में मुझे बताओ कि अगर जो भी कोई सीख है अगर हमें जो मिली है फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट 4 चैप्टर्स, व्हाट इज़ इट. एक दो लाइन में अगर इफ़ हैव टू काइंड ऑफ सम अप व्हाट एवर वी हैव लर्नड थ्रू दिस फर्स्ट 4 चैप्टर्स, तो वो क्या होगा. Let's see if I'm able to articulate that and post your comments and tell me if this is the right articulation. अगर आप ये पहले 4 सेशंस देख चुके हैं तो मुझे बताइए कि आप ये आर्टिकुलेशन से, ये जो भी मैं आपको बताऊंगा एक दो लाइन में अब तक जो हमने सीखा है, उससे आप राज़ी हैं या नहीं. So whatever we have learned, it essentially in the essence at the core is all about number 1, कि हम सबसे पहले तो अपने आप को खोजें, अपने स्वधर्म को पहचानें. Go back to what we discussed about dharma, that dharma is not religion but dharma is about duty, and the first primary duty is towards our own self, right? This is what we explored. हमने अब तक ये देखा था कि धर्म, स्वधर्म जो है, कि हमें हमारे अपने आप के प्रति एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, क्योंकि हम जो भी जब भी पैदा होते हैं तो हमारे पास कोई स्ट्रेंथ्स होती हैं, हम कोई इनेट बाय बर्थ नेचुरली गिफ्टेड कोई कैपेबिलिटीज़ होती है, कोई टेंडेंसीज होती है, कोई 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 गुण होते हैं हमारे पास में, और उसी के साथ साथ ऑफकोर्स कोई अवगुण होते हैं, कोई नेगेटिव ट्रेड्स होते हैं. देर आर सर्टन थिंग्स दैट वी एब्सोल्युटली लव टू डू. देर आर सर्टन थिंग्स कि हमको ऐसा लगता है कि ये अगर हम 15 घंटे भी करें तो हमें कोई थकावट नहीं होगी, और कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें होती है जो हम 1 मिनट भी वी कांट टॉलरेट. एक सेकंड भी अगर कुछ करने को कहा जाए तो हमें ऐसा लगता है क्यों करना जा रहा है. तो देर आर ऑलवेज दीज थिंग्स जो बाय बर्थ हमको मिलता है, और इसी को यूज़ करके, इसी को एक्सप्लोर करके अगर हम अपने बेस्ट वर्जन बन जाए, ये जो स्वधर्म है इसको पहचान के, इसी को यूज़ करके अगर हम अपने लाइफ का एक कोई पर्पस डिफाइन कर पाए, और उस पर्पस को हम अपना सबॉर्डिनेट कर दें अपने आप को, कि मैं अभी जो भी कुछ करूँगा वो बस इसीलिए करूँगा, इसके लिए नहीं कि मुझे कोई आउटकम चाहिए, नॉट बिकॉज आई वुड गेट सम आउटकम फ्रॉम इट और आई गेट समथिंग फ्रॉम इट, बट आई डू इट बिकॉज दिस इज ऑल दैट आई लव डूइंग, because I consider it my duty, and because I want to be the best version of myself, and because if I am able to get this done, I would rather impact the larger good, society हो, family हो, organization हो, हमारे खुद का देश हो, our country, the world in general, or what not, we will contribute to it in the best possible way, और इसी के लिए हम करेंगे जो भी कुछ करेंगे. एंड इस माइंडसेट से, विदाउट फोकसिंग ऑन द आउटकम्स, विदाउट गेटिंग completely kind of lost in all the happiness and the successes we get, and at the same time without getting dejected and depressed by the failures. अगर कुछ हम हार जाते हैं या फिर हमारे साथ कोई सेटबैक होता है, कोई दुख होता है हमें, तो उसमें पूरी तरह से खो जाने के बदले, और उसी तरफ बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ सुख होता है, खुशी मिलती है, कोई सक्सेस मिलता है, उसमें खो जाने के बदले हम बस वही करते रहे जो हमें करने में मज़ा आ रहा है, उसको और परफेक्ट करने की कोशिश करें, इसीलिए ताकि, क्योंकि हमें वो करने में मज़ा आ रहा है, बिकॉज इट्स अ ड्यूटी, वी कंसिडर इट एज अ ड्यूटी, बिकॉज वी वांट टू बी द बेस्ट वर्जन ऑफ आवरसेल्व्स, एंड बिकॉज वी नो कि इसकी वजह से इफ़ नथिंग एल्स हम कुछ ना कुछ तो कंट्रीब्यूट करके जाएंगे दुनिया को. और इसीलिए हम अगर इस तरह से अगर जिए, इसीलिए जिए और इस तरह से अगर जिए, तो हम काफ़ी हद तक एक परमानेंट पीस, हैप्पीनेस को एक्सपीरियंस कर पाएंगे. यही हमने अब तक के 4 सेशन में एक्सप्लोर किया. तो इस सब का जो रूट है, वो रूट कहाँ है? ये सब का द एंटायर रूट ऑफ वॉट एवर वी हैव लर्न सो फार इज नंबर 1 थिंग टू डू इज़ टू फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड अवरसेल्व्स. हम अगर अपने आप को ही नहीं पहचान पाएंगे तो ना पर्पस डिफाइन कर पाएंगे, ना ही अपने आप को सबॉर्डिनेट कर पाएंगे, ना अपने आप को पहचान पाएंगे कि अगर हमको कोई इच्छा हो रही है, कोई डिज़ायर अगर अपने में आ रही है, तो वो क्यों आ रही है, वो हमारी कोई टेंडेंसीज है उसकी वजह से आ रही है, तो उसको हमने कब करना चाहिए, उसके ऊपर ध्यान देना चाहिए कि उसको इग्नोर करना चाहिए. ये पूरा जो माइंडसेट है ये तभी आएगा जब अपने आप को आप ठीक से पहचान पाओगे, isn't it? और इसी के लिए इफ़ यू रिमेंबर लास्ट सेशन में मैंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था इस स्वधर्म टूल को, या इस स्वॉट फ्रेमवर्क को. स्वॉट इज स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटीज, थ्रेट्स. ये काफ़ी जाना पहचाना सा मैनेजमेंट फ्रेमवर्क है, लेकिन मैंने इसको थोड़ा सा अडेप्ट किया है अपनी जानकारी के हिसाब से, भगवद गीता की जानकारी के हिसाब से, और इसको आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं अपने आप को पहचानने के लिए. एंड उसका लास्ट टाइम जब मैंने एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया था शायद काफ़ी हाई लेवल था, तो अभी मैं एक एग्जांपल के साथ आपको दिखाना चाहता हूँ कि मैंने ये एक एग्जांपल दिया हुआ है. तो ये एक बंदा है, बंदा या बंदी, कि जिसके कुछ गुण हैं there are some qualities that this person has, and there are of course certain avgunas, some negative traits, negative attributes. There are certain things which are like flow state catalyst. अगर आपको याद हो तो मैंने कहा था flow state catalyst मतलब वो कोई ऐसी चीज़ें जो करके आपको ऐसे लगे कि यार मैं 15 घंटे भी ये करूँ तो मुझे तकलीफ नहीं होगी, राइट। एक जोन में आप चले जाओगे जहाँ पे आपको बहुत बेहद खुशी मिलती है, फिर आपको मेहनत का एहसास नहीं होता। यू लव डूइंग दैट वर्क सो मच, दीज एक्टिविटीज सो मच दैट यू डोंट गेट टू एक्सपीरियंस द एफर्ट ऑफ इट, यू डोंट गेट exhausted by doing it no matter how much and how many times you do it. But at the same time there will be flow state inhibitors, ऐसी कोई चीज़ें कि जो आप 1 मिनट 1 सेकंड भी नहीं कर पाओगे, आपको ऐसा लगेगा क्यों कर रहा हूँ मैं, है ना। तो ये 4 चीज़ें अगर अपने आप की आप एक्सप्लोर कर पाए और लिख पाए, आप ये होमवर्क कर सकते हैं, you all can kind of do this homework where you kind of jot down, articulate these specific things for you. For example, just look at this person, whichever person that I have highlighted here. If you were to quickly look at this person, see, this is the guy who's extremely quick tempered. He or she has written that this person is extremely quick tempered, impatient है, बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पेशेंट है, सब कुछ अभी अभी चाहिए, मन में आया तो अभी बताना है। ऐसे नहीं कि सामने वाले के ऊपर इतनी सम ऑब्जर्वेशन, कुछ गलती पकड़ी है किसी की, या किसी को कुछ फीडबैक देना है, कुछ बताना है तो अभी बताना है। नॉट दैट कि जब वो फ्री हो जाएगा तब बताऊंगा, जब वो सुनने के हालत में होगा तब बताऊंगा, नॉट दैट वे, बट अभी आई हैव टू टेल इट नाउ। दैट इम्पेशेंस, राइट, इम्पल्सिवनेस, प्लान करके सोच समझ के पूरा सारा थॉट प्रोसेस दिमाग में रख के नहीं, मन में आया कर दिया, राइट। इम्पल्सिव, प्रोक्रास्टिनेटर, आज नहीं कल करेंगे, कल नहीं परसों करेंगे, ऐसे करते करते जब फाइनली लास्ट मिनट आ जाता है तो फिर सडनली कैसे वैसे कर लेना है, राइट। सो देयर सम टेंडेंसी ऑफ प्रोक्रास्टिनेशन। एक्सट्रीमली इगोइस्टिक, मैंने इसको बोल्ड, आई हैव रिटन इट इन बोल्ड फॉर अ डेलिबरेट रीजन, विल डिस्कस दिस लेटर। बट समबडी हु इज एक्सट्रीमली इगोइस्टिक डिफाइंड एज समबडी की if somebody is questioned, somebody is opposed, somebody is pinpointed at, somebody is given a specific negative feedback especially, or somebody who is ignored or not given due consideration, suddenly he feels that ऐसे कैसे मेरे साथ कोई कर सकता है, right? So sense of ego and self importance, whatever you may call it, possessive है and control freak है about certain things, may not be for all, but definitely somebody who's like extremely possessive about people, individuals, things, what not, and control freak, उसके हिसाब से होना चाहिए हर चीज़, किसी और के हिसाब से नहीं, not letting go of the control, and intolerant to irrationality and indiscipline। ये लॉजिकल बात ना हो, illogical अगर कोई बात कर रहा हो, आजू बाजू में साफ सफाई ना हो, ठीक से चीज़ें रखी ना हो, तो I can't tolerate it, right? So ये है अवगुण्स, right? And but at the same time, जैसे each of us, हर एक जन, all of us, we definitely have certain strengths and good qualities as well. हम हर एक के पास में, हमारे पास में कोई अच्छी चीज़ें भी होती हैं, right? So for the example in this person's case, extremely creative, quick-witted, fast processing, highly analytical, effective problem solving, exceptional communication, people management, multidisciplinary knowledge, अलग अलग चीज़ों के ऊपर, अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट्स के ऊपर जानकारी है, मल्टी स्किल्ड, बहुत सारे स्किल्स हैं। गाना भी बजा लेता है, गा भी लेता है, म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स बजा लेता है, पोएट्री भी लिख लेता है, can paint well, can write well, extremely intellectual, बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स के ऊपर फट से इन्फॉर्मेशन ले लेता है, सो एक्सट्रीमली मल्टी स्किल, या एंड देन एम्बीवर्ट है, कि जब ज़रूरत पड़े तो अकेले के साथ में 4 दिन गुजार सकता है, और जब ज़रूरत पड़े तो 2,000 लोगों के बीच में भी बहुत आसानी से घुल मिल के रह सकता है। सो एन काइंड ऑफ एक्सट्रोवर्ट इंट्रोवर्ट का कॉम्बिनेशन है, डूअर है, अचीवर है, एम्बिशियस है, रिस्क टेकर है, इनिशिएटिव ले सकता है, लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज़ हैं, एम्पैथेटिक है, केयरिंग है, कुछ अच्छा करना चाहता है, डू गुडर है, सेंसिटिव है, फ्रूगल है, नॉन मटेरियलिस्ट है, मिनिमलिस्ट है, दिस ऑल लवली क्वालिटीज़। बट ये मैं बोल इसके रहा हूँ बिकॉज इफ़ यू ऑब्जर्व नन ऑफ इट इज़ एक्सट्रीमली स्पेसिफिक। ये चीज़ नहीं है कि मुझे फिजिक्स में this person is extremely good in physics and this person is extremely good in algebra. It's not like that. Whatever I have articulated here as an example, these are all generic high level qualities, और इसका बहुत ज़रूरी है because the more generic and high level you are, because see, creative can be in terms of painting, creative can be in terms of problem solving, creative can be in terms of writing, poetry, novels, singing, what not, right? Creativity in itself is a quality. अब उसका एक्सप्लोरेशन वो लिटरेचर के फॉर्म में हो, आर्ट के फॉर्म में हो, या कैसे भी हो, बट क्रिएटिविटी इन इटसेल्फ इज अ क्वालिटी, राइट? सो जब आप आर्टिकुलेट करें गुणास को, अवगुणास को, आर्टिकुलेट द हाई लेवल जेनरिक एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ योर टेम्परामेंट, माइंड सेट, व्हाट नॉट, राइट और फ्लो स्टेट कैटलिस्ट्स क्या हैं? फ्लो स्टेट कैटलिस्ट है कि जैसे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, कोई प्रॉब्लम दे दिया इंटरेस्टिंग सा जिसको सॉल्व करने को बोल दिया तो मज़ा आ जाएगा, ऐसे 50 प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व करने को दे दे तो दिस पर्सन इज नॉट गोइंग टू काइंड ऑफ गेट बोर्ड, हिल रादर बी इंटरेस्टेड, ही और शी विल बी रादर इंटरेस्टेड। इंटेलेक्चुअल एंगेजिंग कन्वर्जेशंस में मज़ा आता है, लॉन्ग ड्राइव्स ट्रैवल करने में मज़ा आता है, इंटरेक्टिंग विद एंड एड्रेसिंग लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पीपल, जितने ज़्यादा लोगों से इंटरेक्ट करने में मिले वो और ज़्यादा मज़ा आता है, तो वो स्टेज पे हो, वो वेबिनार में हो या कहीं भी हो। साइंटिफिक एंड लॉजिकल एक्सप्लोरेशन में मज़ा आता है। एस्थेटिक्स मतलब नेचुरल ब्यूटी, इंडिविजुअल ब्यूटी, प्लेसेस, जो ब्यूटीफुल चीज़ें हैं उनके सानिध्य में रहना अच्छा लगता है। क्रिएटिव परफेक्शन पसंद है, कोई बहुत बढ़िया सी बुक पढ़ ली, कोई अच्छा सा गाना सुन लिया, कोई अच्छा सा बुक विजुअल आर्ट देख लिया, पेंटिंग देख ली या वॉटेवर, कोई अच्छा सा आर्किटेक्चर देख लिया तो मज़ा आ जाता है, राइट। एंड पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट फॉर, अगर वॉट एवर ही और शी डज उसकी वजह से सामने वाला का कोई बेनिफिट हो और उसकी खुशी देखने को मिले तो मन को बहुत अच्छा लगता है, राइट। सो दिस आर ऑल द थिंग्स दैट दिस पर्सन लव टू डू। फिर ये कितने भी घंटे करने को लगे तो डजेंट मैटर। बट ऑन द अदर साइड फिजिकली स्ट्रेनस एक्टिविटी, ट्रैकिंग और एडवेंचर को छोड़ के अगर कोई भी फिजिकली स्ट्रेनस एक्टिविटी करने को बोला तो 1 मिनट भी नहीं कर पाएगा। इरेशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट और पर्सुएशन नहीं कर पाएगा। रिपेलिंग सेंसरी इनपुट, अगर आजू बाजू में गंदगी है, बास आ रहा है या एस्थेटिकली प्लीजिंग चीज़ें नहीं है आजू बाजू में, घर पूरा बिखरा पड़ा हुआ है, ऐसी चीज़ों में, ऐसी जगह पे ये बंदा बंदी नहीं रह पाएगी या रह पाएगा। फॉल्सिफिकेशन, झूठ पसंद नहीं है, आपस में लेन देन में, कन्वर्जेशंस में, रिलेशनशिप्स में अंदर बाहर किया हुआ पसंद नहीं है, जो है साफ साफ मुंह पे बोल दो। शॉर्ट चेंजिंग ए ट्रांजेक्शन, अगर उल्लू बना दिया किसी ने, मेड अ फूल आउट ऑफ, राइट, जो अक्सर बिजनेस में होता है, इंडिया में तो खासकर होता ही है, राइट। इट happens in India. Wherever you go, there will be somebody who will fool you, kind of get more money out of you, but not give you, something as equal quality, and this thing happens quite normally, especially in India. And this person can't tolerate that, not being in control of a choice, of a freedom to operate. So अगर ऑफिस में है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में है, तो एक सेंस ऑफ फ्रीडम चाहिए। हर चीज़ ये he or she doesn't want to be told exactly what needs to be done, but somebody की भाई ये responsibility is now figure it out, right? So that kind of a temperament. And then subservience to something and someone unworthy, सामने वाला अगर कैपेबल ना हो तो उसको सबसर्वेंस नहीं किया जाता। समबडी हैज़ टू बी ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर लेवल बिफोर दिस पर्सन काइंड ऑफ लिसन्स। सो जस्ट लुक एट इट, कितना डिटेल में ये चीज़ें लिखी गई हैं। एंड ऑल ऑफ दिस आर लाइक जेनरिक हाई लेवल थिंग्स दैट आर बीइंग नोटेड डाउन। अब इसका फ़ायदा क्या है, राइट? यू विल से कि आशुतोष दिस इज ऑल गुड, मे बी समबडी हैज़ डन अ लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट हियर, व्हाट्स द एडवांटेज ऑफ इट? सो नंबर 1, वॉट एवर आई हैव रिटन डाउन हियर, जो भी आपको मैं दिखा रहा हूँ, जो भी मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, ये सब दिस इज़ मी, दिस इज़ नॉट समबडी और सम पर्सन और सम ही और शी, दिस इज़ एक्चुअली मी। सो ये मेरा स्पॉट है, ये मेरा स्वधर्म टूल है। ये गुण अवगुण, दिस इज़ ऑल मी, और ये मैंने खुद इस चीज़ के ऊपर काम करके अपने आप के ऊपर काम किया हुआ है। सो वॉट एवर आई टेल यू नाउ, इट इज़ आउट ऑफ माई ओन एक्सपीरियंस। सो आई एम कॉलिंग माई सेल्फ एन ईगोइस्टिक, आई वॉज एन ईगोइस्टिक, एंड द रीज़न वाई हैव मेड इट बोल्ड इज़ बिकॉज इसका, ये टूल का द बिगेस्ट एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस टूल, सबसे ज़्यादा बड़ा एडवांटेज इस चीज़ का ये है कि द मोमेंट यू आर अवेयर ऑफ योर सेल्फ, यू कांट बी इगोइस्टिक। एंड आई गिव एन एग्जाम्पल। आप व्हेन डू यू से अ पर्सन इज इगोइस्टिक? आप व्हेन डू यू से कि कोई बंदा बहुत इगोइस्टिक है, हाइपर सेंसिटिव है, टू सेंसिटिव, एंड वॉट एवर वर्ड्स यू यूज़, ये कब होता है कि जब आप उसको कुछ गलत बोल दें, या somebody calls this person quick tempered, he's going to be like, how dare you call me quick tempered, right? But the moment I say कि मैंने खुद का स्वधर्म एनालिसिस किया हुआ है, I have done this analysis of my own self, and I know that I am quick tempered, and I have accepted that this is a shortcoming, this is a negative trait. अगर इस सिचुएशन में कोई आके अगर मुझे कहे कि आशुतोष यू आर क्विक टेम्पर्ड, मुझे बुरा लग ही नहीं सकता है, बिकॉज सामने वाला तो सच बोल रहा है, राइट? द अदर पर्सन इज एक्चुअली टेलिंग मी द ट्रूथ, एंड इफ समबडी इज टेलिंग मी द ट्रूथ विच आई नो and which I have accepted, both the things are important. Not only that I know, but I have also accepted that yes, this is a fact and this is a shortcoming which I have to work on. अब इसके ऊपर मुझे गुस्सा आ ही नहीं सकता है। I can't be egoistic the moment I am aware of my own self. मेरे गुणास के बारे में भी I have clear understanding. So I am aware कि I have certain good qualities. At the same time I am aware that I have certain shortcomings. Now if somebody points out and says you're not as good, or probably you are very bad, I would know whether the other person is telling me the truth or not. I'll have my own benchmark. Or because I have my own benchmark, सामने वाला कुछ भी कहे, I'll never get worked up. because I'm aware of the reality. So the people who are not aware of themselves are most often they're not living in denial. लिविंग इन डिनाइल मतलब कि हालांकि वो क्विक टेम्पर्ड है, बट अगर जब उनको कोई कहा जाता है कि अरे तू क्विक टेम्पर्ड है, जैसे नहीं आई एम नॉट क्विक टेम्पर्ड, एंड देन व्हाट डज द पर्सन डू? टिपिकली दे स्टार्ट जस्टिफाइंग, दे स्टार्ट टेलिंग कि नो आई एम नॉट क्विक टेम्पर्ड, टुडे वाज एन एक्सेप्शन, टुडे probably somehow I lost out because it was an exceptional situation, otherwise I'm usually very patient and calm and all. You start immediately giving justifications. You want to tell the other person no I'm not quick tempered, or you are suddenly flaring up and how dare you call me quick tempered, I'm not quick tempered and whatnot, right? And that happens to all of us. हम सबके साथ ही होता है because हम खुद को इतनी अच्छी तरह से पहचानते नहीं हैं. So the first biggest advantage is that if you are egoistic, sensitive, if you get worked up by what people say, if it matters to you what people say about you, अगर आपको लगता है कि सामने वाला मेरे बारे में क्या कहता है, क्या बोलता है, या आपको बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट लगता है, you want the others to kind of accept you, or you want the others to tell good things about yourself, all of this goes off. Suddenly you are like very okay with yourself, suddenly you have a very positive body image, mental image of your own self, and it's a realistic image. It's not like a worked out image, it's actually a right realistic image. अब ये बनाने के लिए बिफोर आई गेट इनटू द अदर एडवांटेज, ये बनाने के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है, ऑफ कोर्स यू हैव टू डू सेल्फ एक्सप्लोरेशन, इंट्रोस्पेक्शन. आप अपना खुद का एनालिसिस, अपने आप को टाइम देना पड़ेगा. सी इन दिस टुडेज वर्ल्ड द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज इज कि हम अपने आपस के लोगों से ही कम बात करते हैं. वी हार्डली टॉक टू पीपल अराउंड अस, because we are either talking to somebody on the mobile, or we are probably on Netflix or TikTok or YouTube or whatnot. We are always into something rather than talking to someone, right? And because we hardly talk to others, talking to our own self is like, it's way too off, right? A distant possibility. हम अपने आप से ही हम अपने लोगों से ही अगर कम बात करते हैं, तो अपने आप से बात करना तो बहुत दूर की बात रही, राइट? सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज टू स्टार्ट टॉकिंग टू योर सेल्फ. अपने आप को क्वेश्चन करना कि भाई मैं हूँ क्या, मेरे कैपेबिलिटीज़ क्या है, मेरे स्ट्रेंथ्स क्या है. बिकॉज देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ पीपल. वन हु आर लाइक सडनली हैविंग अ ह्यूज इन्फ्लेटेड इमेज अबाउट देमसेल्फ. उनको लगता है कि वो तो मतलब बाप लोग हैं, उनसे अच्छा कोई है ही नहीं. देयर आर सर्टेन टाइप ऑफ पीपल हु फील दैट दे आर लाइक द बेस्ट, and there is no flaw in them, right? And they have this extreme ego, and then they're extremely sensitive. Suddenly someone points out at something, they can't tolerate it, right? Yeah, so there are other people who have absolutely no self-image. They are the people who are like, they feel I'm nobody, or they feel that I'm no one. How everybody around me is better than me. Even that is wrong, because it can't be. If you're born in this world, you have to have strengths, you have to have capabilities. You may not have explored them, आपने उसको इतने अच्छे से एक्सप्लोर नहीं किया होगा, उसके ऊपर काम नहीं किया होगा, बट ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता कि आपके पास में कैपेबिलिटीज़ ना हो, आपके पास में स्ट्रेंथ्स ना हो, राइट? सो द मोमेंट यू वर्क ऑन दिस स्वधर्म टूल, यू आर वेरी रियलिस्टिकली सेट in your own mind about who you are, what your capabilities are, and then the other person, whatever they may say, you are not going to be swayed, right? That's the first biggest advantage. Egoistic आप कभी नहीं हो पाओगे. You will never be sensitive, you'll never be hypersensitive, you'll never be egoistic. You'll be realistic about your own capabilities. That's the first big advantage. What is the second biggest advantage? The second biggest advantage is like, I'll say the law of attraction. Because the moment आप सोचो, just remember or think about all the relationships that failed. Think about all the jobs that you worked at where you were extremely unhappy. Think about all the things that you have done in the past because your dad wanted you to do, your mother wanted you to do, your friends wanted you to do, which you didn't like to do, but you did it out of pressure, out of this need to fit into a group. किसी ग्रुप में आप फिट हो जाएं, लोग आपको एक्सेप्ट करें, इसलिए कुछ ऐसी आप चीज़ें कर रहे थे जो आपको शायद उतना अच्छा नहीं लग रहा था. एंड थिंक ऑफ दोज टाइम्स वेदर यू वर जेन्युइनली हैप्पी, or you kind of, despite everything, despite the acceptance from the very people, at the end of the day you felt it was a waste of time. And why is it that you're not feeling happy, right? ये फीलिंग हमने सब ने कभी ना कभी तो फील की है. ये इसीलिए होता है because in all those circumstances, during all those situations, you are trying to be someone else. You yourself don't know who you are. You are probably having no understanding about your own capabilities, and then you're all trying to live a life of somebody else. Either somebody who you feel is the right benchmark, या तो ऐसा कोई आदमी या any personality who's been kind of really respected in the society that you're in, or somebody who your father wants you to be, or whatever, right? You're always living somebody else's life, and the moment you start living somebody else's life, which you're essentially not, there are bound to be misalignments. आप कोई भी पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप देख लें, अगर आप वो बनने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं जो आप नहीं हैं, और सामने वाले को तो वही दिख रहा है जो आप दिखा रहे हैं, दे आर सीइंग अ फॉल्स इमेजरी दैट यू आर प्रोजेक्टिंग, दे आर प्रॉब्ली लाइकिंग यू फॉर व्हाट यू आर नॉट. हाउ इज इट दैट यू आर गोइंग टू बी हैप्पी? इट्स इलॉजिकल, इट्स कॉमन सेंस, नहीं हो सकता है. बट द मोमेंट यू आर हु यू आर, the moment you accept your negative qualities and the positive ones, and the moment you stop faking it, the moment you say यही हूँ मैं, यही हूँ, ऐसा ही हूँ, यही हूँ, और ये मेरे नेगेटिव क्वालिटीज, इसके ऊपर मैं काम ज़रूर करूँगा, एंड आई विल वर्क ऑन इट, बट दिस इज़ मी, आई कांट हाइड इट. द मोमेंट यू डू दैट, आप देखेंगे कि आपके पास में जो लोग आ रहे हैं, द पीपल हु आर स्टार्टिंग टू काइंड ऑफ अलाइन विथ यू, वर्क विथ यू, आर ऑल द पीपल हु आर ओके विथ दैट, okay with the way you are. Automatically you will feel better, automatically you will feel the connect, automatically you will feel the alignment, you will form a group that you always wanted, because you will start attracting people who who want to be with a person like you, right? Because they know who you are, because you're projecting that, right? So it's a very commonsensical thing, but this is something that 90% of the cases doesn't happen, because हम सब वो बनने की कोशिश करते हैं जो हम हैं नहीं, वो दिखाते हैं जो हम हैं नहीं, एंड देन वी ऑटोमेटिकली अट्रैक्ट पीपल हु आर ऑफ कोर्स नॉट द राइट पीपल फॉर अस. वो अपने रिलेशनशिप हो, पर्सनल हो, प्रोफेशनल हो. इमेजिन you might get a wonderful job description, probably a job for a particular company जहाँ पे the salary is extremely good, the role is extremely good, everything is fine, location and everything, right? And the job description clearly states what it is needed for an individual to fit into that role, and आप जानते हैं कि you're not that person, but resume तो कोई भी बना सकता है, CV anybody can fake, you can just modify the CV and try to fit into the JD. अब CV पे फिट हो जाए तो इंटरव्यू आएगा. इंटरव्यू में अगर आप अपने आप को अच्छे से, if you are smart, if you are talented, if you are intellectually sorted, you can always project the right things. इंटरव्यू में how difficult it is if you are smart enough to kind of project a particular personality in the interview. and इंटरव्यू में तो 1 2 4 इंटरव्यूज होंगे, 1-2 घंटे के होंगे, ऐसे क्या ही कोई पकड़ लेगा, right? So it's easy to crack such a job. The biggest question is, would you even be happy in that role? You might get the money, you might get the title, but would you be able to deliver day in day out being who you are not? It's impossible that you will be happy. It's impossible. You'll always feel that stretch that no matter how much you do, it somehow is not enough. You'll always feel that no matter how much you put in the work, the effort, you're probably not recognized, you're not you don't get the credit, you're not able to achieve what you're supposed to achieve. There are always certain gaps, and people are always finding gaps in what you do. यही आपको दिखेगा आजू बाजू में, because you're trying to fit into things which you are not. And the moment you say this is me, and you align to and you look for a JD that fits into your capabilities, that fits into your strengths and what not, बिना कुछ फेक किए आप इंटरव्यू तो क्रैक कर ही लोगे, but you will be extremely happy in the job as well. So it's as simple as that, right? And look at it, इसी personality को देखते हैं. See, this personality is extremely intellectual. Here, this is me, so I like problem solving. I'm extremely good with the technicalities, the scientific explorations and what not. Will research be something I'll be extremely happy in? आप सोचो, अगर R&D job अगर मुझे मिल जाए, if I get an R&D job, will I be happy in that role? Definitely not. Why? Because I'm impulsive, I'm impatient. R&D takes enormous amount of patience to kind of get things going when you don't even know how the experiment is going, right? And keep on failing, keep on working on 10 things, keep on bringing in new ways of doing things somehow, to kind of get it going. That's definitely not me. Would I be a good athlete? 100% not. Physically strenuous activity, I can't just tolerate it. I can't. Can I be with someone, no matter how beautiful it, he or she is, just think of it. I'm looking for a partner for myself, and I find this girl who's extremely beautiful, extremely intelligent, who's able to crack wonderful conversations with me. मुझे बहुत पसंद आ रही है वो, लेकिन probably her hygiene standards are not good enough. Probably she's extremely indisciplined in the way of work, kind of irrational, in the conversations. Will I be able to make that person happy? I'll not be happy with that person. So, no matter how beautiful, no matter how lovely the conversations, no matter how much she loves me, probably it's not the right fit. ये सारी चीज़ें मुझे अपने आप क्लैरिटी के साथ पता चलेंगी, because I'm clear about my own self, right? So this Swadharma tool not only helps you figure out the right career track for yourself. It may not tell you exactly the job, the role, but it will tell you what kind of work will you align to. See, for example, from this chart, if you really आपको तो पता नहीं है, you don't know what Ashutosh does, right? You don't know what my profession is. But if I were to ask you purely out of this, 4 blocks, the gunas, the avgunas, the flow state catalysts, the flow state inhibitors, what kind of job will this person excel in? Any thoughts? If you have any thoughts, put your comments. But just think about it. Will consulting be the best job? Consulting, sales, a job which demands this person to travel a lot, a job which demands this person to interact with multiple people, a job that demands this person to solve problems, to be quick-witted, aligned to a particular problem, converse, communicate, share information and knowledge, address multitude of people, lead a particular team, right? Take risks in terms of getting the next big deal and whatnot. All of this, the moment I say these job description statements, that very moment you see, this guy is the perfect fit for this role, isn't it? Why? Because the strengths are evident. The flow state catalysts are evident, and if I work on these roles, I'll be extremely happy, and I have been happy. Being in the sales leadership role, being in the consulting role, I've always been extremely happy. 12 15 16 घंटे काम करने के बाद भी कभी मुझे थकावट नहीं हुई, because this is what I love doing, isn't it? So this SWOT tool, one, kind of helps you avoid being egoistic, being hypersensitive. It tells you, it gives you a very clear self-image, so that you're not affected by what people say. You don't fall into the trap of seeking acceptance from others because of this tool. अगर आप इस tool के ऊपर काम करें, आपको फिक्र नहीं होगी कि लोग आपके बारे में क्या कहते हैं. Automatically this will be out of your mind, right? You'll not think about that, and it will also help you kind of draw out what kind of work you will love doing, what kind of aspiration track, career track, purpose you should define for yourself, because इसमें बहुत आसानी से आपको guardrails मिल जाएंगे. It will also tell you what kind of people you should be associating yourself with, and it will all come in naturally, right? So for this to happen, not only you will have to do a lot of self introspection, the next big thing is you want to take feedback. आपको अपने क्लोजेस्ट लोगों से बहुत ज़्यादा फीडबैक भी लेना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू आस्क योर पीपल अराउंड यू दैट हे गिव मी अ फीडबैक वेदर आई एम दिस काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन, वेदर आई एम दैट काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन. एंड इसमें एक छोटा सा डिस्क्लेमर देता हूँ, बिकॉज आई बीन थ्रू दिस फेज. देयर विल बी पीपल लाइक say one person tells me I'm quick tempered, I'll probably think about it, but I'll not accept it until 10 other people or 5 other people tell me you're quick tempered. Now the moment 5 other people tell me you're quick tempered, I cannot kind of give justifications for it, right? मैं फिर justify नहीं कर सकता कि यार इसको misunderstanding हुई होगी, इसने मेरे को देखा ही कितना है, ये तो मेरे को सिर्फ 1 साल से जानता है. Now I can't talk about it like that, yeah, because 5 people are telling me the same thing, so they can't all be wrong. There must be some merit, some truth in it, right? Then I should validate and accept it, right? So number 1 is self introspection, and number 2 is feedback from the people. And the same feedback, if you get from multiple people, accept it and start working on it. That's the way to build this template, and I have already told you what kind of advantages you have. But इसका essence क्या है? इसका essence ये है कि the moment you have these Swadharma attributes clearly jotted down, and you're completely aware of who you are, you're very clear about the definition of who you are. Once you're clear about it, your heart is in the right place. When I say heart is in the right place, that means that you know what kind of people you would want to be associated with. You'd be very clear about what kind of work you want to do, right? What kind of activities you would want to be involved in. And the moment आप इस चीज़ों के बारे में clear है, आपका heart is in the right place, you will be able to kind of direct and control the mind and tell the mind to choose the right path, take the right choices, set the right direction. And then the mind will tell the body to do the right things, right? The actions will come in out of this clarity, right? And that cycle, when it starts with the heart being in the right place, the heart or the consciousness dictating the mind, senses and everything to kind of focus on the right things, and that then kind of pushing the body to take the right action, that cycle is a positive cycle, because then all of it is towards is aligned to your personality, to your swadharma, and chances of you going haywire, being disappointed, not finding your balance, will be extremely rare, because you would love talking to the people who you're talking to, because you would love doing the thing that you're doing. At the core, at the essence will be love, and because you will feel love for yourself, अपने आप के बारे में आपको प्यार होगा, आप अपने आप को एक्सेप्ट कर पाओगे, अपने आप में खुश रह पाओगे कि आई एम हैप्पी द वे आई एम, बिकॉज आई हैव ऑफ कोर्स सर्टन प्रॉब्लम्स, शॉर्ट कमिंग्स, बट आई हैव सो मेनी अदर पॉजिटिव थिंग्स एज वेल. लेट मी फोकस ऑन दैट, वर्क ऑन दैट, एंड काइंड ऑफ be with the people I like, do the work that I like, and get it going. This positive mindset will kind of build in so much love in yourself that people will start getting attracted to you automatically. You won't have to put in effort to do so, and automatically आपका the world around you will change. Right? That's the essence of this Swadharma tool, and that's why it's extremely important, and I've taken so much time to explain it. But मेरा एक request ज़रूर है आप सबको कि once you have been through this session, आप इसके ऊपर काम करें, and you also try to articulate this attributes for yourself in these 4 blocks. आप इसके ऊपर काम करोगे, trust me, it is going to help you a lot in your life. But then not only that, see, अभी तक के 4 सेशंस में हमने ये भी देखा है कि Krishna is extremely clear about this with Arjun, that he says, Arjun, the problem that you have is because you are being swayed by the senses. मैं अपने गुरु को कैसे मारूं, मैं अपने भाइयों को कैसे मारूं, ये आपके इमोशंस जो आपके दिमाग में आ रहे हैं, द इमोशंस आर प्लेइंग ऑन योर माइंड राइट नाउ, and you have forgotten your own swadharma, right? You want to, what does Arjuna say in the first chapter? He says that I want to quit this war, I don't want to fight this war, I don't want to kill my brothers, even if they win the kingdom, I am okay with that, let me renounce it all and go to the jungle, right? And that is when Krishna is kind of telling him that, hey, identify your swadharma, who you are and what is the situation that you're in. You are a kshatriya, you are a warrior, you are a fighter, and you're in a situation where आप तो तैयार थे 5 गांव में भी खुश रहने के लिए, बट कौरव ने नहीं माना. आपकी पत्नी को, द्रौपदी को, she was abused in the court, and even if you don't want to fight, the Kauravas are ready to fight. They are right there in front of you, standing up and kind of picking up the weapons and ready to kind of fight as soon as the war starts. So it's you whose duty it is to fight, irrespective of whether you win or not, right? And this is what Krishna is telling him, right? So isme Arjun is a bit confused. Arjun says that, hey Krishna, all through these 4 sessions you have been telling me that you should not be focused on outcomes, you should renounce the desires, right? Because the desire is of no use. The desires, desire for kingdom, for example, that Arjun's desire that Hastinapur should be his, or Yudhishthir's or Pandavas, is a desire, right? And on one side Krishna is saying that this desire is of no use, leave the desire, let go of the desire. And on the other side Krishna is saying that, hey, it's your duty to fight, so fight. So Arjuna is confused. Arjuna is saying, Krishna, I don't understand what are you trying to tell me. On one side you are telling me let go of the desire, on the other side you are telling me that it's your duty to fight for the kingdom, so fight for the kingdom. I am not able to marry the two, right? So वो कहता है, Arjuna said, you praise, O Krishna, the renunciation of actions, and then praise karma yoga also. So tell me with certainty which of these the superior one leading to the ultimate good. राइट? अब ये सवाल का एसेंस क्या है? हमने तो स्वधर्म टूल से अपने आप को पहचान लिया. वी हैव अंडरस्टूड आवरसेल्व्स. वी हैव ऑल्सो लेट्स से अंडरस्टूड कि हाउ आवर डिज़ायर्स, हाउ आवर सेंसेस फ्यूल इन अ साइकिल ऑफ डिज़ायर्स, राइट? कि आज एक कार चाहिए तो कल दूसरी कार, फिर तीसरी कार, आज और बड़ी और बड़ी, और बड़ा घर और बड़ा घर. दैट देयर इज़ नो एंड टू दिस डिज़ायर, राइट? सो एंड वी हैव काइंड ऑफ गॉन थ्रू दैट इन द फर्स्ट 4 सेशंस. सो अब इस डिज़ायर से निकलने के 2 तरीके हैं. देयर आर 2 वेज ऑफ डूइंग इट. One, cut the objects only, right? See, what if the person says कि मेरे को अगर एक जॉब के बाद दूसरा जॉब चाहिए, दूसरे के बाद तीसरा जॉब चाहिए, चौथा, पांचवा, there is no end to it, तो मैं जॉब ही नहीं करता, राइट? इफ इट्स गोइंग टू बी कि मेरे बच्चे को आज ये स्कूल चाहिए, फिर ये कॉलेज चाहिए, फिर उसका ये जॉब होना चाहिए, फिर उसको ये बीवी मिलनी चाहिए, इफ दीज डिजायर्स आर गोइंग टू बी ऑल अराउंड माई किड्स, आई शुड नॉट इवन हैव किड्स. If there is going to be desire that my wife should be like this or my husband should be like this and he or she should not do this and he or she should do this and all that, if there are going to be desires around that, then let me not even marry, right? If there are any materialistic desires ki ye ghar, then why is it that my house is smaller than somebody else and all that, then let me even not have a house, right? If you do it that way, then the only option left for you is to leave everything and go to a jungle, right? Because now the moment you are in a jungle and you don't even have any relationships, you don't even have a house, you don't even have a job, you don't even have any materialistic things around you, you're closing your eyes and then contemplating on God or whatever, it's of course going to be easy for you to control your desires, and because the desires won't come as much as they would if you are in, if you are in amidst all of it, right? If you are in the life, amidst the people that you like, doing the job that you're in, living in a house, having a car or whatever, there will be desires, for this situation to improve, for you to have more and more. So अब मैं दोनों में क्या करूँ? सब छोड़ छाड़ के चला जाऊँ ताकि डिज़ायर्स ही ना रहे, कि या फिर इस सब में रह के डिज़ायर को कंट्रोल करूँ? मैं ये दोनों में से कैसे करूँ? एंड विच इज़ द बेटर पाथ, राइट? अब इसके ऊपर कृष्णा कह रहा है कि द लॉर्ड सेड रिनंशिएशन ऑफ एक्शंस एंड कर्म योगा बोथ लीड टू द हाईएस्ट एक्सेलेंस, राइट? वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड कि अगर मैं ऑब्जेक्ट्स को कट आउट कर दूँ, जंगल चला जाऊँ, तो डिज़ायर्स आर गोइंग टू बी मच लेस, ऑफ कोर्स, and then it will be easy for me to possibly meditate and pray on the God and whatnot, and probably it will be easy for me to achieve excellence, right? But then, having said that, the renunciation or going to the jungle is going to possibly of help, but still living in this life, performing all the duties that you're supposed to as part of your life, and still living a renunciated life as part of karma yoga will be way better. दिस इज वॉट कृष्णा इज सेइंग. अब इसको अगर समझना है कि वाई इज दिस बेटर, इफ यू वॉन्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, यू वॉन्ट टू फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन वॉट इज रिनंसिएशन, नंबर वन, एंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन रेजिग्नेशन एंड रिनंसिएशन. एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. सी, लेट मी आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन. व्हेन यू लीव अ जॉब, डू यू से आई हैव रिनाउंस्ड द जॉब और डू यू से आई हैव रिजाइन्ड फ्रॉम द जॉब? यू ऑफ कोर्स हैव रिजाइन्ड फ्रॉम द जॉब, राइट? अब ये कोई इंग्लिश ग्रामर की बात नहीं है, या ये फिर दिस इज नॉट अबाउट द फ्रेजिंग ऑफ इट और द यूसेज ऑफ द वर्ड. देर इज probably a deeper meaning which you can contemplate on, which is like the job is not yours to renounce in the first place, right? The job is of the organization. अगर आप नहीं कर रहे हैं तो कोई और करेगा. You're leaving the position and somebody else is going to take it, right? The job is of the organization. You may not want to continue, therefore you leave it, you resign from the job, right? You can't renounce from the job because it's not yours, it's the organization, to which the job belongs, right? So you can only renounce what is yours. जो आपका है आप renounce कर सकते हैं. Job is not yours to renounce, so that's why you at the max can resign from it, right? Now if you stretch this argument, then the world that you're born into, the family that you're born into, the society that you're born into, and the duties that come in as part of that, the duty as a child, the duty as a son, daughter, duty as a brother, sister, the duty as a citizen and whatnot, are automatically bestowed on you. They are all a part of the society that you live in, and they are actually of the societies, right? The duties of the society, just like a job of the organization, all these duties are of the society. Now you can't renounce these things, you can resign from it. आप सब छोड़ छाड़ के जंगल तो जा ही सकते, you can resign and leave and go to the jungle for sure, nobody stopping you, right? But then say it is resignation, don't say it is renunciation, right? Renunciation is when you renounce things which you own. These duties are not what you own, these duties are given to you by whom? By birth. The very fact that you're born into a family is going to give you a duty towards your parents, towards the family, towards your brothers, sisters or whatnot. There will be a responsibility around it, right? And you are going to be born with it. It's been given to you by the society. Now you can't run away from it. If you do, you should say that okay, I'm resigning from it, but don't say that you're renouncing it, right? So then what does at least this difference is clear, right? That जब हम जंगल जा रहे हैं तो आप renunciation करके नहीं जा रहे हैं, you're probably leaving, resigning and going, and which is okay. That's your call, that's your choice. You can always take that choice. Nothing wrong in it as such, right? If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's fine. But don't say that you're renouncing. Okay? Then what does renunciation mean? Krishna says, but renunciation, O mighty armed, that is Arjun, is hard to attain without following yoga. The contemplating sage who follows yoga reaches the Brahman, the self or Atman soon. So what is this? Renunciation cannot be attained without yoga or union. Renunciation by definition has three aspects. Let's cover each. First aspect we have already covered, which is renouncing the outcome mindset, right? Let me आप इसमें थोड़ा आप confuse हो सकते हो, because when I say that you should renounce the outcome mindset, you would question and say, Ashutosh, in the first few chapters you said that outcome is never yours. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. That you have only right to action, you don't have any right to outcome. So why are you saying that renounce the outcome? You know, on one side you're saying renunciation is only for the things you own. You can't own the outcome. So why are you saying outcome mindset ko renounce karna is renunciation, right? So let me explain it this way. If a very simple example, if I'm studying so that I become the first in the class, right? Becoming or standing or getting first rank in the class is an outcome that I have in my mind, right? Now, getting first in the class, do I have control on that? No matter how much I study, I don't know whether I'll stand first because somebody else might study more than me. Somebody might be smarter than me, right? Or probably the questions that come in the class, only those specific questions for some reason I may not have studied, you know, and somebody else may have studied and he'll crack it, right? So being first in the class is not in your control. It's not in your control. But is this your ambition for the work you do, for the study that you do? It is your own ambition, right? ये तुम्हारे दिमाग का थॉट है कि मुझे फर्स्ट आना है, किसी और का तो थॉट नहीं है. इट्स नॉट समबडी एल्सेस. आपके दोस्त का तो थॉट नहीं है कि यार आशुतोष तुझे फर्स्ट आना है. ये आशुतोष का थॉट है, आई वांट टू बी फर्स्ट, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम स्टडिंग, right? So when I say renounce this outcome mindset, I'm saying renounce the thought that I have to be first in the class. And when I say that outcome is not in your control, of course outcome is not in your control. These two are equally true, is what I'm saying, right? So when Krishna says that you have only right to action, you don't have any right to outcome, think of it in terms of control. You have only control over the work that you do. Can you have control over the outcome? There are just too many variables, extremely variable focus, right? क्या क्या होगा आपको क्या पता, right? You can only study for yourself. What others study and how much they study is not in your hand, right? So if you say that I want to live a renounced life, the first thing is you need to renounce the outcome mindset. That means I should not have a thought that I'll study because I want to be the first in the class. You would study because you love to study that particular subject. You know, you love studying, that's why you study, right? So when you focus on the work and not the outcome, when you focus on the journey, not the destination, when you seek perfection, not results, you know, because you know that results are not in your control, and you're renouncing the result mindset or outcome mindset, that is the first level of renunciation. Very clear? बहुत आसान है कि आप क्या रिनाउंस करें. आपके जो थॉट्स है दिमाग में, जो आपके दिमाग में जो थॉट्स आते हैं, आपके जो थॉट्स है कि मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए, इसके लिए मैं करता हूँ, वो जो आउटकम माइंडसेट है उसको आपको रिनाउंस करना है. And why? Because outcome is anyways not in control. All that you can control is what work you do, right? So renouncing the outcome mindset is the first level of renunciation. What's the second level of renunciation? The second level of renunciation is the whatever I'm doing is for me. That for me aspect is to be renounced. Because the moment you do whatever you do for your own self, right, most often than not it fails. And I'll give you an example. अगर आप किसी organization में काम कर रहे हैं, right? Just imagine two types of people. One who's doing whatever he does so that he gets promotion, increment, that's of course outcome mindset. But whatever, if somebody asks for help, he'll help only if he feels कि इसको कुछ return में मिलेगा, right? Then probably he'll be noticed, he'll be recognized, he'll get credit, he'll probably get a better increment, he'll get a better rating, and that's why I'm helping, you know, my team around, my people around, you know, and whatever extra effort I put is just because, you know, the boss will keep me in good books. I'll be in the good books of the boss or whatnot. That is one way of working. That's one kind of person. There's other kind of person who says that मैं यहाँ पे जो भी कुछ कर रहा हूँ, I am finally doing it for the team that I'm in. I'm finally doing it for the project that I'm in. I'm finally doing for the client that I work for, right? अब इस mindset में what will happen if somebody asks for help, I'll help. If somebody asks, can you do, you know, 1 hour extra and kind of get this problem solved, you'll do it. Why? Because your ultimate goal is that you're here for the client, you're here for the project, you're here for the team. अब इन दोनों में ट्रूली मैनेजमेंट स्पीक, अगर आपको किसी को प्रमोशन देना है, अगर आपको किसी को आगे लेके जाना है, किसी को क्रेडिट देना है, इन रियल वर्ल्ड, ट्रस्ट मी, द अदर पर्सन हु डज इट फॉर द टीम, डज इट फॉर द प्रोजेक्ट विल ऑलवेज विन. एंड इट्स वेरी काउंटर इंट्यूटिव बिकॉज आपको हमेशा लगता है कि यार दुनिया इतनी आसान नहीं है. यू ऑलवेज फील दैट द वर्ल्ड इज नॉट एज सिंपल, द वर्ल्ड इज नॉट ईजी, द वर्ल्ड इज एक्सट्रीमली टफ. And you know, the smarter Alex actually win. You know, the people who are selfish, who do it only for themselves, they are the people who win. You know, with my own experience of working in TCS, Oracle, IBM, you know, the larger organizations, the promotions that I have had, I can vouch for the fact, you know, मेरे साथ ये हो चुका है, not because I was following Gita, but because I was selfish, and I'll tell you how. जब मैं IBM में था, when I was in my IBM in UK, in UK for a particular project, in my mind I was very clear that I want to do MBA. And I was preparing for MBA in my weekends, during my free time. All that I was doing is studying, and I wanted to get into IIMs, and that was my goal, right? And I was completely focused on that. I had no clue about Gita as much. I've of course started reading it, but I hadn't understood it as much. बट एक थॉट ज़रूर था कि IBM में आई डोंट केयर इफ़ आई गेट प्रमोशन, आई डोंट केयर इफ़ आई गेट इंक्रीमेंट्स, आई डोंट केयर इफ़ आई गेट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड, बिकॉज IBM को तो एनीवेज आई हैव टू रिजाइन एंड लीव फॉर MBA, राइट? सो IBM से मुझे कुछ चाहिए नहीं था. And because of that mindset, when the client asked me to do to stretch and do something, I did it. When my boss asked me to do certain things, I did it. When my team members asked for help, I helped them. When there was certain problem for a particular team member and he wasn't sure how to crack it, I spent my own time researching and helping him or her and kind of fixing things for him or her. What happened? In the first 6 months, I was elevated to be the delivery manager. I was of course sent to UK. Then what happened? I continued doing this, and suddenly I was elevated to be the client engagement manager. Then what happened? Suddenly I was elevated, I was extended. My stay was extended in UK for more, 1.5 years more. And all the progress, all the growth I had in IBM just kept on happening because I started taking roles purely because I loved the work and because I wanted to give the best for the team that I was in. I demanded nothing. I wanted nothing out of IBM. Not because I was studying any Gita or I wanted to implement Gita or whatever understanding I have about renunciation and all. I didn't have anything. But मेरे को तो MBA करना था, so it didn't mind that I didn't mind whether I get any recognition in IBM or not. But the very fact that I submitted myself to the team, to the project, to the client was extremely happy. The team lead was happy. The project manager was happy. The IBM UK leadership was happy, and they kind of just pulled me up, gave me more and more responsibilities, and kind of elevated me to a much larger position than I could have otherwise been. It's a very clear, and IBM, right? And none of it, you can just go to my LinkedIn and you will see all those transitions, right? So none of it is a lie. And I'm somebody who has actually in the SWOT or Swadharma tool openly conveyed what my shortcomings are and all. I have nothing to unnecessarily brag about things, right? Whatever I'm telling you is the truth. Trust me, when you subordinate yourself, and I'll tell you why as well in the subsequent slide, how this happens. I'll tell you that as well. But the moment you subordinate yourself, you say that this is not me, it's whatever I'm doing is beyond me. I'm doing it for the larger good, for whether it is for the family, in the context of the family. When it comes to husband and wife, you're not doing it for the wife, you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the relationship. When it comes to your family, you're doing it for the family, right? Not for yourself. When you're in the office, you're doing it for the team, for the project, for the client or whoever, but for the larger good, right? When you're in society, you're doing it for the society, not for yourself. And when you live like that, when you're beyond yourself, automatically things start working out for you because there's no self-interest in there, right? And that renunciation at work there is renouncing the for me aspect of your work, right? And the last thing is collection. See, the biggest impediment that you have is the fact that you are always in a mindset of collection. And collection need not be only about 10 cars, 5 cars, 100 purses and 5 shoes and whatnot, right? It's not about that. Collection could also be about the effort you have put in, the years that you have spent, right? बहुत बार आपने देखा होगा अपने दोस्तों में, अपने relationships में, when you hear people talk about that, hey, I probably just can't tolerate this person anymore and probably I'm extremely unhappy in my married life, but I can't do anything because I've already given my 5 years of life to this relationship. I have to somehow make it work. कितनी बार सुना होगा आपने ये अपने आप के बारे में या अपने आसपास के लोगों के बारे में कितनी बार सुना होगा कि बिकॉज आई हैव स्पेंट 5 years of my life in this relationship, I have to give it more time, right? Because I have given 3 years of my life in this particular job, I have to give it more time. I can't leave it, right? ये जो mindset अपने दिमाग में आता है, it kind of constrains you from exploring so many other possibilities. And the fact that you're living in denial is the first thing in itself, right? The fact that you're continuing for the sake of it because you've spent 5 years already, and you'll probably spend 2 years more despite knowing it's not working. And there's a disclaimer. See, don't think of it as like any other random situation. These are like situations where you are very clear things are not working. I'm not talking about one fight with your husband and you are saying it's not working, right? I'm saying there are of course those couples, right, where they are very clear it's not working, extremely clear. It's not only clear for them but clear for everybody around them. It's very clear, but they probably will just continue and spend kind of make other people each other's life hell just because they have spent 5 years and they want to spend 1 year more or give it another try. right? I'm not saying like quit easy, but I'm saying where do you draw the line, right? And this very mindset of not being able to let go kind of restricts you from the growth, from the opportunities, from the possibilities that life has to offer, right? And hence renouncing that collection mindset, that holding mindset, that sticking to mindset is a freedom in itself, right? Is an experience of freedom in itself. And when you are able to renounce these three things is renouncing the outcome mindset, renouncing the for me mindset, and renouncing the collection or sticking to mindset. That very moment, despite being in the life, despite performing the duties, you will be free of everything. You will be free of all the attachments and all. And how, right? How does this work? I said that in IBM things worked out for me. How did that work, right? Why did it lead to work? Krishna continues telling Arjuna that the knower of the truth, who is devoted to yoga, should think, I do not at all do anything. Even though he is seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, whatever, it's not I who's doing it, right? So if you have to genuinely renounce, right, these are the three key things: renouncing the outcome mindset, renouncing the for me mindset, and renouncing the sticking to mindset or collection mindset or whatnot. In order for you to be able to do that, what is most important is having that third perspective, third person perspective on yourself, thinking of yourself and instructing yourself that it's Ashutosh who's doing it, it's this body who's doing it, it's this thing called Ashutosh who's kind of getting things done, and I'm still detached from it. That distancing of your own self from the activities around you, from the duties around you, is what makes the difference, when it comes to renunciation. And how does it reflect? See, it's very difficult to say how do I detach myself from my own self, right? It's saying itself is difficult. How do I do it, right? So there are three ways of doing it. Number one is subservience. As I said, the moment you feel that you're subservient to a larger cause, right? The larger cause could be in a context of a couple, the relationship itself; in context of a family, the family itself; in context of office, the organization, the project, the client; in context of the society you live in, right? The country that you live in and whatnot, right? The moment you subordinate yourself to the good of something bigger, something larger, this very renunciation comes in, that it's not about me, it's about something bigger, right? And that frees you of so many things, right? And where does it come from? It again draws from two facets: subservience to your own qualities and your own swadharma, right? Do you remember the definition of dharma? It is duty, and there are two aspects of duty towards your own self, which is the first duty, and then duty towards the society at large, which is the second duty. The first priority duty is to your own self. So whenever you do certain things, you don't do it for your own self, but rather because this is all that you're born with, this is all the capability that you have, this is all that strength that you would want to focus on and build, this is all that you love doing. This is how you're born, this is what you love to do, that's why you do what you do, right? This is the duty that you have to deliver on and face and perform. So that's why you're doing it. When you're subservient to these things, to your own swadharma, to the duties and to the larger good, automatically the me thing goes off. Automatically it helps you be a servant leader. Servant leadership is a huge concept in the management literature. There are just enormous amount of research that's done to say that people who are servant leaders are exceptionally great at delivering outcomes as a team, right? And ये हमने सब ने experience किया है. All of us have had that kind of a boss who doesn't tell you your particular job perfectly, who doesn't tell you what your responsibilities are, who doesn't tell you what are you supposed to do, why you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, who doesn't help you get trained well, who doesn't groom you well, who doesn't help you when you're down and you don't know how to kind of fix a certain problems, but he's there to tell you that I have told you to do this, get it done, come what may. A typical boss who's acting like a boss because he's been given that position of a boss, right? That's one type of a leader. What is another type of a leader? There's another type of leader who's like who'll explain to you what your importance is, who'll explain to you why the work you're doing is extremely important, critical, who'll explain to you how it should be done, who'll probably groom you, train you, give you the right kind of trainings, and whenever you're down, probably facing certain challenges, he'll pull in the right people, or kind of himself kind of get in and kind of help you get those problems solved. They use his experience to kind of fix it for you, and be with you so that you are successful, राइट. दीज आर द पीपल दैट ऑन द स्टेज जब अवार्ड बट रहा होता है तो वो कहते हैं कि हालांकि लेट्स से इफ अ सेल्स लीडर इज गेटिंग एन अवार्ड फॉर द बेस्ट सेल्स परफॉर्मेंस, दीज आर द काइंड ऑफ पीपल विल से कि यार मैं तो जो भी हुआ वो मेरी टीम की वजह से हुआ, लेट द टीम टेक द अवार्ड फॉर मी, राइट. How many of you have seen both kind of leaders in your professional life? And if you have seen both, how many of you can tell that the servant leader will be more successful or the boss will be more successful? Who will be more successful? Of course the servant leader has to be successful, because he is the one who will drive and motivate the people underneath him to perform 10 times more than what they'll otherwise do if they were just dictated and directed for without support, without motivation, right? So when you are subservient to a larger cause, you'll automatically be empathetic, you'll automatically be there to help whoever is all around, whoever needs help, whoever can leverage your capabilities, strength and skills and make the life easier for people around you, and automatically you'll be a servant leader. Automatically you will get that leadership position, because people will look up to you, people will come to you even if you are not on that role. ये भी बहुत बार ऑफिस में और प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में आपने देखा होगा कि देयर इज अ बॉस हु इज अ टाइटुलर बॉस, जिसे कहते हैं ना टाइटल मिला हुआ है बॉस का, but there is always probably some other person who's not yet the boss, who's probably an assistant or what not, but you would see most of the people going to that person and asking for help rather than going to this boss, right? And someday sooner than later you will see that the boss is no more in the company, but this servant leader gets the position and grows, and it's just a matter of time, right? And the last thing is thinking of yourself as a catalyst and a non-doer, right? मैंने अपने खुद के लाइफ में अपने भाइयों को मदद की है about MBA, about getting into right MBA program, about which courses to take, which things to study, which institutes to apply for, how to crack an exam and what not, right? I've helped them, right? And many of them, a few of my cousins have cracked wonderful institutions. Now I can't take credit for that. because मेहनत तो उन्होंने की है, मैंने तो डायरेक्शन दिया, राइट? आई जस्ट गिव डायरेक्शन, आई गिव इनपुट्स. पढ़ाई उन्होंने की, मेहनत उन्होंने की, फोकस उन्होंने रखा, डिटर्मिनेशन उनका था, काम उनका था, मैं कैसे क्रेडिट लूँ? All at the max I can say that I was possibly a catalyst, I was possibly an agent, right? Same way with a sales leader who closes a $10 million deal, let's say. Can he say that it's he who has closed that $10 million deal? If he says so, it's extremely incorrect, because the sale cannot happen if the product and service isn't good, if the delivery team hasn't delivered the right services or the right presentation or the right proposal, if the team underneath him has not done the right kind of assessment, they have not followed up with the right people, not got the right meetings for this person to go and meet and discuss, right? So it's a huge effort that goes into achieve certain outcomes, and if you say that it's all because of me, because I am at the helm, it's not going to work, right? फुटबॉल का एग्जांपल ले लो. फुटबॉल में जब फाइनल गोल करता है, उसका नाम तो हर जगह पे होता है, गोल उसके नाम पे आता है, बट गोल तभी होता है जब उसको कोई पास करके एट द राइट टाइम एट द राइट स्पॉट कोई उसको पास करके बॉल देता है, राइट? टिल देन will he ever be able to score a goal without the right pass at the right time, right? So if somebody says that I am the one who kind of gets the goal in, probably he'll be out of team very soon, right? Because nobody wants such a person in a team who's taking credit for things which is not due. He's probably definitely an agent, who kind of gets things done, right? So these are the three things which help you achieve the renunciation that is necessary. Now these are the outcomes or the possibilities of renunciation के फायदे क्या है, और कर्म योगा को करने के लिए, इसी लाइफ में इस ड्यूटी में रह के ये करने का आपको ये कैपेबल कैसे बनाता है, that is what it is, and the benefits of it. But then there is cost element as well. अगर आप ये ना करो तो इसके कुछ costs भी हैं, and let's see what those costs are. See, Krishna says a yogin renouncing the fruits of his actions attains lasting peace, but the unsteady man who is attached to the fruits of actions being impelled by desire is bound. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब ये है कि the person who has let go of all his desires because he's subservient to the larger goal, to his own swadharma, he's doing it, whatever he's doing it, for the sake of duty, for the sake of his own capabilities and strengths and kind of being the best version of himself. He's doing the work for the sake of work and not for the outcomes. He's not worried about the success and the failure, and automatically in this kind of mindset he'll achieve peace, right? But if it doesn't do any of it, if it doesn't renounce, what could be the challenges, what could be the problems? Of course he'll be confused, of course there'll be conflicts which he'll not be aware of. He'll be eternally in a cycle of desires, but there's much more. Have you ever thought of the sunk cost? हम में से कितने लोग हैं जो इस तरह के प्रॉब्लम्स फेस करते हैं कि जहाँ पे वी आर लाइक कि जैसे मैंने कहा ना कि 5 साल मैंने ऑलरेडी इस रिलेशनशिप में डाला है, 3 साल मैंने इस ऑलरेडी जॉब पे डाला है, मैं इसको कैसे छोड़ूं? Right? How many of the times that we don't take a decision purely because we are stuck in the sheer amount of effort that we have put in so far, right? And we don't get that strength to leave it all and explore the new place, the new area, the new option or whatnot. We don't do that because we are stuck in this sunk cost mindset कि हमने ऑलरेडी इतना टाइम डाला है तो 1 महीना और, 4 महीने और, 1 साल और, थोड़ा तो एफर्ट बनता है. 6 महीने वेस्ट किए हैं, 6 साल वेस्ट किए हैं, 1 साल तो और बनता है, राइट? सो देर इज लाइफ that's going to open up so many opportunities and possibilities for you, but you close the door because in the past you have put in so much of effort and you stop living. This is a huge cost because life, if you remember, has an eventual death. कभी भी आ जाएगा, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा, and you are gone. And for whatever reasons you stopped exploring and you didn't even live your life. For what reason? Sunk cost. Because you kind of kept on putting 8 years, 7 years, 6 years, 6 months, whatever, and continued putting it without knowing whether it's working or not, right? So without knowing your own swadharma, without understanding your own self, without knowing whether whatever you're doing is aligned to what you like to do or not, the people that you're in, are they aligned to what kind of people you want to be associated or not? Without being clear about your own self, without being subservient, if you are living a kind of a life, you will have these challenges, right? And you will lose out on so much because there's only one life. किसको पता वापस आएंगे कि नहीं आएंगे, right? What is the next challenge? Fear of missing out. Lot of us have this. Lot of us. The moment we see somebody else having some good time, we are like, shit, why I didn't have that? Maybe I should have that as well. And then suddenly you're like, okay, let me book the ticket, let me buy this, let me buy that, and all because you have a fear of why is that somebody else is having more fun than me. How does it matter? How does it matter? It matters because you yourself don't know what you want, right? So this whole fear of missing out and this whole concept of anticipated regret, right? Advertising, marketing and sales experts, they use it so well. आप इंश्योरेंस की कोई भी ऐड देख लो, आपने उसमें क्या दिखता है? सडनली किसी का तो एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, सडनली हार्ट अटैक आ जाता है, एंड समबडी गोज एंड या व्हीकल का एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, घर में फायर हो जाता है, एंड द अदर पर्सन हैज़ नॉट हैड इंश्योरेंस एंड suddenly he has no money, right? And then there is an ad that said that therefore please get yourself insured, right? ये the fact that the fear कि अगर मैंने इंश्योरेंस में पैसे नहीं भरे तो आगे जाके अगर मेरा घर जल जाएगा तो मेरा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, तो इसलिए लेट मी टेक इंश्योरेंस, राइट? ये जो एंटिसिपेटेड रिग्रेट का एक चैलेंज है जिसको हाईलाइट कर करके आपको चीज़ें बेची जाती है, दैट कम्स टू यू एंड यू आर ससेप्टेबल टू इट. Because again, you are not clear about your own self, you are not clear about your own goals, you are not clear about your own purpose, and it's very easy to fool you in this manner. Again, disclaimer, see, I'm not saying insurance is wrong, okay? I'm not saying that insurance लेना नहीं चाहिए या future के बारे में सोचना नहीं चाहिए and all that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying how much of it, such decisions that you take, whether it is the fear of missing out decisions or the anticipated regret decisions, how many of such decisions you do it consciously, राइट? इंश्योरेंस तो लेना ही चाहिए, आगे जाके घर जल जाए तो उससे अच्छा मैं मेरे घर को इंश्योर करा लूँ. व्हाट इज़ रॉन्ग इन इट? देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग इन इट, बट इट्स अ रैशनल चॉइस. इट्स नॉट बिकॉज समबडी इज मेकिंग यू अफ्रेड एंड दैट्स व्हाई यू आर डूइंग इट, राइट? यू डूइंग इट बिकॉज यू आर वेरी वेल अवेयर दैट इज द राइट थिंग टू डू, राइट? सो इसका जो एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, ये जो एक डिस्टिंक्शन है, ये जो एक रैशनल चॉइस है, ये करने के लिए पहले आपको तो सेन होना पड़ेगा, स्टेबल होना पड़ेगा. आपको अपने आप के बारे में क्लैरिटी रख के, अपने पर्पस, एम्बिशंस, गोल्स के बारे में क्लैरिटी रख के, आपकी अच्छाई बुराई के बारे में सोच के डिसीजंस लेना पड़ेगा. बहुत रैशनली डिसीजंस लेने पड़ेंगे, और उसके लिए जो स्टेबिलिटी दैट यू नीड फॉर सच रैशनल डिसीजंस, दैट विल कम ओनली इफ यू आर हैविंग दैट renounce mindset, understanding of your own self, and all that we have studied for in the first 5 chapters, right? Without that, you will be susceptible to these anticipated regrets, fear of missing outs, and all that. And then the third thing, there will be a challenge of lock-in and switching costs. I'll explain to that. How many of the times हम में से किसी ने कभी ना कभी तो ये फेस किया होगा, right? Just take an example. We are in a job. We are probably earning 3 lakhs per month. हर महीने 3 लाख कमा रहे हैं हम लोग, एंड हमारा एक बोनस ड्यू है जो मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा पता नहीं. वी डोंट नो वेदर वी आर गोइंग टू गेट इट और नॉट, राइट? बट देर इज अ चांस दैट वी मे गेट अ बोनस ऑफ मे बी वॉट 5 lakhs. We will get a 5 lakh bonus, let's say. If I stay here for the next whatever 3-4 months, I'll probably get that 5 lakh bonus, right? And then suddenly I get a job offer for 4 lakhs per month. It is the right job. It is a job that you would love doing. You're going to get more money. But you say, hey, on one side I'm getting 4 lakhs per month, but I'm missing out on 5 lakhs bonus. And here I'm earning 3 lakhs, but I'll possibly get 5 lakhs bonus. What do I do? राइट. दिस होल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्विचिंग कॉस्ट, राइट? या मैं इधर से उधर चेंज करूँ डिसीजन को, तो मेरे को लॉस क्या होगा, मेरे को बेनिफिट क्या मिलेगा, एंड ऑल. ईदर यू बिकम ओवर एनालिटिकल, you just consume so much of time, effort, energy to just be analyzing all those possibilities, permutations, combinations, and analysis by paralysis हो जाता है, या paralysis by analysis हो जाता है, कि जहाँ पे you don't come to a decision point quickly at the right time, and you are eternally confused, right? It all happens because you are kind of focusing on the 4 lakhs which is short term, or possibly the 5 lakhs which is short term, rather than thinking how much of value that job is going to add to your career in the long term. ये 4 लाख की वजह से आपको आगे जाके 6 लाख का जॉब मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा? How many of the times you think about it that way? Hardly any, right? Why? Because you're not focused. Again, what lures you is the desire to get more money. This 3 lakh versus 4 lakh, 5 lakh versus 4 lakh, 1 lakh per month extra, and whatnot. Suddenly you are consumed by this 1 lakh more, 5 lakh more, and all that, rather than thinking ये 4 lakh per month का job, is it going to be helpful for my career? Is it aligned? Will it give me a long term growth? What all possibilities exist beyond that? Will this 4 lakh get me at 8 lakh job later, or whatnot? Right? We hardly think about it, again, because we are not focused, deep dive, and all of it, right? So these are all the challenges one has when one is not centered in one's own self, right? And then Krishna is summing this up all in one line by saying that the Lord of the body, that is the consciousness, the Atman, the Jiva, whatever you may want to call it, does not create agency, nor actions, nor union with the fruits of actions in relation to the world of cells. It is only the inherent tendencies that function. At the core, all of us have to understand that whatever we do, whatever our tendencies, our desires, they come in as reaction of all the chemicals that we are formed of, right? The body, the mind, whatever it is in here, it is having lots of tendencies and gunas and things that trigger certain desires and instincts, and and you feel like doing certain things, and the mind, the Atman, is always at the core controlling all of it, right? Because इसको समझना है तो just think of 2 different type of people. First kind of person whose life is controlling him, whose senses are controlling him, and it's easy to find such people because they don't have a sense of purpose, they don't have a self identity as such, they probably are trying to live somebody else's life, eternally unhappy, always having one desire or the other. They're always fighting for something or other, in terms of running after something or other. They don't have the sense of calm and the sense of being that you would experience in certain people. And then there are other type of people who control their life, who are in control of their own ambitions, desires. They are very clear why they are doing what they are doing. They love what they do, irrespective of the situation they are in. They might be facing utter failures, or they might be having amazing success. They are still balanced, and whenever you talk to them, you sense of calm and sense of peace. You feel the euphoria, the happiness, irrespective of the age. वो 50 के हो, 40 के हो, 60 के हो, आपको उनमें एक बचपन वाला इनोसेंस लगता है, एक बचपन वाला एंथुजियाज्म लगता है, एक बचपन वाला एनर्जी लगता है, to know more, to do more, to achieve more, to deliver more, for the larger good, achieve more for the larger good, not for their own self, right? And it's extremely positive being around with them. These 2 set of people come in from different processes. The first set of person who's being controlled by his own, like who's not in control of his life, whose life is controlling him, is somebody whose senses dictate what the mind focuses on. The mind then dictates what the body does, and the body, of course, then is triggered into action. So it's the senses that dictate, the situations, the life, the happenstance that dictates what the person does. And the other set of people are people who are extremely conscious about who they are, what their core desires are, strengths are. They have a sense of purpose that triggers the mind to focus on certain things, which then triggers the body into specific action, right? So there's this clarity, there's sense of purpose, there's sense of calm and sense of peace, and irrespective of the situation, therefore they'll be happy and calm and peaceful, right? The last two things, Krishna is saying, for those pleasures that are born of contact are wombs of pain. They have a beginning and an end, O Arjuna. The wise do not rejoice in them. The summary is that why is it that we should live in this way? It is because if you want to decide what enjoyment you have, what pleasures you have, it is going to give you long lasting peace or not. Just think whether it is short term or long term. Right? See, I'm extremely against smoking. I see no rational point in smoking. But when it comes to drinking, I don't mind drinking. Of course, I don't drink, but I don't mind people drinking. But the addictions, whatever you may have, whether it is drinking or some other habit or whatnot, right? The biggest problem of the addiction is that it is because of short-term pleasure. It is for the next 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours of being in the zone, as we call it, right? For that, you're screwing up your entire long-term life, long-term health and whatnot, right? If I was a person who would decide based on long-term merit, I would never be addicted, ever. Yeah, because each and every addiction gives you momentary happiness, whether it is, drinking or the kick that you get out of smoking or, whatever addictions that you may have, right? And the addiction could be of person, of activity or whatever, right? If it is short term, it is for that one short amount of time, and then you suddenly again feel a lull and you want to kind of get back into the zone again. That's how the addiction gets formed, right? It is because that you get it only for the short term, and then you are again facing the need to go for it again, and you go on doing it again and again, right? It's never long term. But if my focus is for long term, I would rather do things like exercise, which is going to pain me, trouble me when I exercise, right? 1 hour of effort, right? But I know that long term is going to merit. If we were rational people, if the decision was a rational decision, none of us will choose addiction. None of us are going to choose addiction. But we do, because none of us think long term. हम में से कितने लोग हैं जो लॉन्ग टर्म सोचते हैं, एंड हम में से कितने लोग हैं जो शॉर्ट टर्म चीज़ों में अपने आप को भूल जाते हैं, राइट? आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट डोंट हैव दोज लिटिल प्लेजर्स ऑफ लाइफ, ठेले पे पानी पूरी खाना मज़ा है यार, वी ऑल हैव टू हैव अवर ओन sense of pleasure and fun, right? But have a mind, have a thought about what you're here for from the long term perspective. That will make a lot of your choices easy, right? Short term versus long term benefit, इस टर्म में अगर आप सोचोगे, lot of your choices will become easy. And the other thing which is like recurringly talked about in every single session, every adhyay, is that you got to be not self-centered but centered in self. We have discussed this much earlier, but Krishna says, he whose joy is within, pleasure is within, and similarly light is within, he is a yogin, who having become the Brahman attains the bliss of Brahman. All that is simply saying is that if you have accepted, if you first of all understand who you are, if you have accepted who you are, if all the work that you do, the people you engage with is derived out of an alignment to your own self, right? This is the kind of person I am, this is the kind of work I do, this is the kind of work I like to do, these are the kind of people I love to be with, and all of it that you do is aligned to that. And then you don't have a mindset of outcomes, you don't have a mindset of for me, you're all about the larger purpose, subservience to the larger cause, and you're here for the larger good, and you are there for the sake of love for the work you do, love for the people you like to be with, and love for yourself. Automatically you're a person who's centered in self. You'll have a sense of balance and calm irrespective of the challenges you face in your life, irrespective of the highs and the lows, irrespective of the successes and failures, and automatically you will live a peaceful life. That's all that's there, is as simple, and that's where it ends in terms of the 5th chapter. Thank you so much for your time, and talk to you again in the 6th session. Take care. Cheers. Bye.